everyone, I'm Chef Leroy and welcome to My Cozy Kitchen. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a chicken stock. I got a little twist to it. I'm going to use a little bit of mole in the stock. I want to flavor my chicken. I'm using whole chickens. I want to flavor them because I'm going to do burrito bowls for my dinner today. So I want a really good flavor in my chicken. So anyway, let's get after it. All right, so a few things you're going to need to make a chicken stock. A pot. This is a 6-quart pot. Okay. I have minced garlic. I have chicken broth. And I do that as an enhancement. I'm going to use water as well, but I'm going to use some chicken stock or chicken broth in my pot to make my stock. The other thing I have are my chickens. Okay, I get these from Costco. The whole chickens are really nice. I don't get the organic ones. I don't really see any difference between this and organic. I mean, you can do that if you want. I'm not doing that. So I'm only doing one of these. So I'll have to cut my chicken out. So I'm just gonna get one here and I'll show you what I'm doing with the pot and stuff. The other thing I have is my vegetables, okay? In this container, I have an onion, celery, and I have carrot, and I'll give you the amount. So I've got one medium to small yellow onion that I just rough chopped. You can see there. I've got 4 ribs of celery. They're not really big ones, but they're also rough chopped, and I can show you what that looks like. Okay. And then I've got 2 larger juicer carrots. That's what I call them. You go to the store and they're usually either called loose carrots or juicer carrots. And that's, again, the size that I cut them. Okay. So onion, celery, carrots. I'll bring the camera down here so I can show you what I'm doing with my pot, and then I got another little twist on the mole part, so I'll show you that in a second here. So let's move that camera down. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is put my vegetables in my pot. Okay? I like to put my chicken right on top of my vegetables so that the chicken doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan when you're heating it up. So put your veggies on the bottom. I'm not putting liquid in until I get everything in my pot first, and the reason for that is the displacement, okay? So, well, that's good. I got a bunch of juice all over me. All right. All right, got to be really careful with chicken juice. I got some on my cutting board, so that has to be cleaned very well before I do anything else on it. All right, there's a lot of juice in these. These were partially frozen when I picked them up. Next thing you want to do is just check to see if there's any of the giblets in the chicken. These usually don't come with them from Costco, but you want to verify that. If they have a little bag in there with the liver and the gizzard and stuff, you want to make sure you pull those out of there. Don't cook them with this right now. All right, so we're ready to go for our stock. So I want to show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so again, I've got a NutriBullet, or the Magic Bullet it's called. I've got my larger mixer attachment on here. Here's my blade. All right, so we're going to add the mole paste to the container. And this is a 1/4 cup of Mole Rojo. And this is the product that I have, Mole Rojo. This is a shelf-stable product. I really like it. I get this one from one of the Mexican markets. If you can find it, this is a really good brand. All right. So next thing we'll do is we'll add some chicken stock to our blender container. And I have a little leftover one here that I had from another meal. So I'm just going to use the rest of this up. Again, this is Swanson's chicken broth. And I don't know how much liquid I need in my chicken, but I don't want to use all broth only. It'll be a little maybe too salty, so because you want to cut it a little bit with water. Not to mention you're making a stock, so the chicken's going to add a lot of flavor. I'm just going to go ahead and add all of this. So between the 2 containers, this is a 32 ounce, and I probably had about I don't know, maybe 2 cups in here. So there you go. All right, now let's go ahead and blend this. This thing gets pretty loud, but I won't leave it on the whole time while you guys are watching. All right, so there you have it. And the reason I'm blending the mole in with some of the stock is that it incorporates better into the liquid, right? Because otherwise the mole paste will just kind of sit in the pot and won't really dissolve very well. So you want to blend it up first, okay? All right, well, go ahead and pour that in there and we'll get it on the stove. All right, we're gonna put some garlic in here. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons. Again, I'm making a chicken here for my burrito bowls that I'm gonna have tonight. So I'm gonna pull this chicken when it's finished. All right, let's go ahead and add our mole liquid. Again, I don't know how much I need in here because the displacement with the chicken and vegetables will change the amount. But this is about 48 ounces of liquid. Nice, that looks beautiful. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add water to fill it up the rest of the way. Okay, let's add water. I want to bring it all the way up pretty close to the top here. All right, there you go. Let's get it on that stove. All right, I got my pot on the stove. Let's go ahead and turn it on. I'll kick it up to high. All right, we want to bring it to a boil and then reduce it to a simmer, a low simmer. And this is going to take about 2 hours roughly. I will let you know on the timing as we go along here, but that's it. Bring it up to a boil, just let it simmer nice and slow. And basically what you're looking for is the chicken is pretty much falling apart. All right, we're starting to come up to a boil here. It's getting close, and you're probably wondering, what are you doing with all that stock? Because pulling the chicken for my burrito bowls, I wanted a stock so I can make soup. So that's what we're doing. And also, this is just such a great way to cook chicken. You don't have to do the mole part of it, but I want to do it this time because I'm doing it with my burrito bowl. All right, we've officially gotten to a boil, so now we're going to reduce it so it doesn't cook over. Bring it down to a nice low simmer. See how fast induction works? And just like that, you lower the temp and it's just down that quick. That's why I really like induction. Okay, now we wait. So this is the time. So it took about probably a good 10 minutes to get up to a boil. And again, I have induction, so it's quite quicker. But yeah, we just cut that temperature down and you can see how it's just a little rolling simmer there, and that's what we want. All right, so go ahead and set your timer for 2 hours and we'll come back and check the chicken. Okay guys, I'm gonna give you a little recap on our chicken stock that we are making today. Again, I put a little different twist in there by using mole rojo in there, 1/4 cup of that. I had 2 juicer carrots or loose carrots, large ones, rough chopped. I did peel them. I had 1 medium to small yellow onion, which I also rough chopped. And then I had 4 ribs of celery that I also rough chopped. Put all those in the bottom of the pot as you've seen in the video. I put the chicken on top of that. And by the way, that chicken was a 5-pound chicken. Then we blended our mole rojo in with our chicken stock, which was about 6 cups of chicken stock. And then I had another 6 cups of water that I added toward the end. We also used 2 tablespoons of garlic. And that's pretty much it. Brought it to a boil, took about 10 minutes roughly to get up to a boil, dropped it to a simmer now, and now we just let it cook, okay? And I'll show you what that looks like when the chicken is ready. We'll pull it out, get that chicken pulled, and be ready to go for our burrito bowls for the evening. All right, see you guys in a while. Okay, everyone. Check out the chicken. So I actually have had this simmering for 2.5 hours, okay? So not just 2, but I'll show you this here. Check out the chicken wing. Shook. Right off. There you go. So I got 2 bowls set up here. One is going to be the strainer for my stock, and the other one is just fell right apart. So legs came right off. That's what you want. You're gonna cook that chicken nice and slow. And then you can pull all that chicken meat off. All right, I'm gonna just toss this all in a bowl. And the vegetables, we're straining those out. All right, so we've got our strainer in the bowl. Let's go ahead and take our stock and pour it through the strainer. Strain out the vegetables, because those will go in the garbage or in your compost. Strain that out really nicely, and we're going to save that stock for soup. So what I'll do is I'll put this in my refrigerator and I'll let it cool all the way down. And I'll take off the fat that's sitting on the top of the liquid. And I'll probably vacuum pack the broth so I can make soup out of it later. I did want to taste it though, just because I had that mole in there. So let's give it a taste quick. Let's try that. It's a little oily on top, so we'll move that oil around so it's not so greasy. That is really good. It's not too heavy on the mole. I didn't have that much as it was, but that's really tasty. That's gonna make a really good soup. I might do some type of chicken and rice soup with that actually. That's very good. So we can just leave these vegetables sit here and it'll drain down in there a little bit more. We'll just get all the liquid through there, and I'll just kind of leave this off to the side and I'll show you what that chicken looks like in my other bowl that I have. All right, here's what it looks like. See, it just pulls right off, just like that. Perfect, exactly what I wanted. All right, I'm gonna pull that into a container, and it is pretty hot yet, so take your time if it's still pretty warm, and otherwise, 2.5 hours, beautiful. Brought it up to a boil, about 10 minutes, that took about 10 minutes, dropped it down to a nice simmer, and 2.5 hours later, and we have some beautiful chicken. All right, well, anyway, I'm gonna pull that chicken. I'll show you what this whole thing looks like when I'm done. All right, so chicken is pulled. Now your chicken is ready for anything you wanna do with it. So if you're gonna use it for a soup or a dish, it's all ready to rock and roll. And that actually tastes really good. It has just a hint of that mole flavoring to it. All right, guys, so there you go. There's a pulled chicken. Now you can use this in multiple different dishes, whatever you want to use it for. And what I really like about poaching chicken like this and making a stock is you can use the stock. So you get two things out of this. You get the meat and you get a really nice stock. Now you don't need to use mole. Mole is not that important if you don't have it, but I wanted to do it, and it gives a little bit of a nice flavor to the chicken, okay? And then you can use it for some type of Southwestern thing. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, ding, 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 ding. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. Oh, and also please leave a comment or a question if you have any questions on a recipe or anything else in this video. I'll respond as soon as I see it. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. Chef Leroy, and out.